series of Mathematics class 10th. Dear students, in the previous video, we learned how to find out the mean, mode and median, right? In this video, we are going to learn how to represent the given numerical data in the form of pictures. That is, pictorial representation of statistical data. Dear students, it's quite easy to understand the given numerical data in the form of pictures. Okay? So, let's take an example. Suppose in a cricket match, the runs scored by the 8 players are given. Okay? And if you want to know that which player had scored the more runs or which player had scored the less runs, so for that we have to check the runs made by each player very carefully. Okay, and by observing all the numbers we decide that who had scored the more and who had scored the less. But if the same information is given in the form of like this bar, okay, so like this, for 8 players there will be the 8 bars. Okay, let's consider them as a player A, B, C, D like that. Okay, so within a fraction of a second, one can say that which player had scored the more runs, right? So here, which bar has more height, it means that that player had scored the more runs. Okay, similarly, if the height of any bar is less, it means that here that player had scored the less runs, right? So here we can say that this pictorial information is quite easy, simpler method to understand the given numerical data. Okay? So dear students, pictorial and graphical presentation are attractive methods of data interpretation. The tree chart below shows different methods of data interpretation. So we can represent the data in the form of tabulation, pictorial presentation and graphical method. Tabulation consists of ungroup and group. We had used it to find out the mode, mean and median. Pictorial presentation, it consists of the bar diagram and pie diagram. So bar diagram again consists of simple bar, joint bar, then divided bar and percentage. So all this we have studied in the previous classes. And pie diagram, we'll see this after the histogram and frequency polygon. Then graphical method consists of the histogram, line graph and frequency polygon. Okay? So dear students, let's learn how to represent the given numerical data in the form of pictures. That is, first we'll see the histogram. Okay? So for that here we have one question. So draw a histogram of the following data. So in this table we are given with the height of the students in the centimeter and the number of students. So we have to represent this numerical data in the form of histogram. Okay? So let's draw the histogram on the graph. Okay? So dear students, to represent this information in the form of histogram, so let's first draw the x-axis. So this horizontal line is the x-axis and this vertical line is the y-axis. And where these two axes intersect each other, that is our point of origin. Okay? Now here on the x-axis, we'll take the height of students. Okay? So generally, whatever are the classes that we have to take on the x-axis. Okay? So here, the classes are 135 to 140, then 140 to 145. So as the classes are continuous, so we'll represent these numbers here 135, 140, 145, 150 and 155. Okay? And on the y-axis we have to take the frequency or number of students. Okay? So here I took the number of students like 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay? Now here you may take the 2 centimeter for 2 students. You may start from here 2, 4, then 6, 8, like that. Okay, depends on you. So here what scale we have took on the x-axis and y-axis, that we have to write on the right corner. Okay, so here we have to mention scale on x-axis. So on x-axis how we took? So 2 centimeter. You can see here 135 to 140. How much is there? There is a gap of 2 centimeter. So 2 centimeter is equal to 5 centimeter height, right? So there is a difference of 5 centimeter. Okay, so here 2 centimeter is equal to 5 centimeter height on the x-axis, and on y-axis you can see here this is 1 centimeter. Okay, 1 centimeter we are representing the 2. So here 1 centimeter is equal to 2 students, because on x-axis we represent the students, number of students. Okay, so this is the scale. Now here you can see here I have done one marking. So dear students, this marking is called the crink mark. So what does it mean? So dear students, now you can see here the difference between these two consecutive numbers, that is 135 to 140 or 140 to 145, there is a difference of 5 centimeter, right? But here from 0 to 135, there is a difference of directly 135, right? So this difference is not matching with these other differences. So here too much gap is there, right? So here this gap we can fill by showing this crink mark. This crink mark represents that the numbers between this 0 to 135 that gets folded in this graph. Okay, so when we are unable to show the numbers which we did not have to show on the graph, then or there is a too much difference, then in that case we have to use this crink mark. Sometimes we may have to use this crink mark on the y-axis also. Okay, now let's draw the histogram. So our frequency for the first class is 4 students. Okay, so the class 135 to 140, the number of students are 4. So let's draw this. So here draw the perpendicular from on this x-axis like this. Okay, so 4 centimeter. So we have to take the height of this bar as 4 centimeter. Okay, now next class for 140 to 145, the number of students are 12. So here for this class the height of the bar will be 12 centimeter. Okay, so here this is our 12 centimeter. Okay, now the next class, that is 145 to 150, its frequency is 16. Okay, so here is 16, so let's up to 16 we'll draw the height of this bar. Okay, and the frequency of the last class is 8, that is the students of the height 150 to 155 are 8. So let's draw that. Okay, so in this way we have represented all the heights in the form of histogram. Okay, now dear students, here you can see for the histogram these bars are close to each other, adjacent to each other, right? This one side is common to each rectangle, right? So here to draw the histogram, it's necessary to have these classes continuous. Okay, so if in the given numerical data these classes are not continuous, then we have to make it continuous. Okay, and how to make the class continuous, that we have learned in the median and mode. Okay, so dear students, in this way we can represent the given numerical data in the form of histogram. Okay, I hope it's clear to you. Okay, thank you.